But if he can freaking finish this, I don't know. I might be like, fuck this, I'm out.
I met a gypsy.
Could AP get a cable clutch if he wanted it?
I don't think so.
That's so fucking gangster, bro.
And you feel bad because it's like,
yeah.
but it's just, you don't, it's Eli Tomac. Like that, it's not even, it doesn't affect the sales side because like our clutch is really good.
Yeah.
But if it were somebody else, you'd be like, okay, maybe the hydraulic shit, but it's not. But Eli Tomac, that's his MO. Like it's a cable. So he gets away with it.
That's just the coolest.
And when you've won that many times, you have that many championships, it's, there you go. So.
There's not many dudes. I mean, you know, we're saying, but like, we don't have a Max Verstappen. That's Max Verstappen.
Yep.
Like Eli,
Yep.
in that regard, that's some Max Verstappen shit. That you could walk into a team that doesn't have a hydraulic clutch and just be like.
It's funny because I remember back when Ryan first got on the bike, the clutch was good, but we were still learning. Like we've learned a lot over the years. I think he asked Raj, hey, can I get a cable clutch? Because I think Ricky was in his ear. You need a cable. And dude, Raj lit his ass up. And then it's funny now we got the cable clutch. I'm like, dude, we got a cable clutch. Look, we got it. And he was kind of laughing. So kind of full circle.
Oh man. Yeah, but it's cool. AP is probably like bummed not to be able to try it. But then there's probably like the part of him that's like,
well, I think he looked at it.
I get it.
Well, he looked at it and he was like, oh, that's sick. But like, dude, our hydraulic, we got that thing.
No, they are.
It's like butter. Like even the production's a little stiff. Ours is like, yeah. And like everybody's like, oh, the cable's so sick, but like you have to be on your shit. The cable gets not, like it's just a cable. So like it can get stiff. So I have to be on my shit, having that thing lubed up and fresh every time. So there's some positives and negatives, but it's just, that's what makes the guy tick. So
yeah, I just love that he can demand that.
Yeah. Yeah. And when he came, he wasn't like demanding. I guess I wasn't involved in the talks. He was like, hey, you think you guys can maybe do this? And Roger and Rini were like, I gotta ask higher ups, like, we'll give it to you, but like it's gotta be approved. And they came back, yeah, here you go. And then a dude in Austria made it. It was basically a whole kit. And dude, when we first got the prototype, I'm like, dude, this is a works part. Like this is probably cool. If you were to ask me what the coolest part of my bike right now is, it's the cable part.
How does it work? Just like
It's like a Japanese, the way we have it set up.
Did you guys have to do much to modify the setup?
Yeah, there was a lot of plug and play internally, but the cool part was how, like, we weren't arc at the time, but we're like, well, we can go make our own perch and everything. We can do that, but like this guy already sells it, so like half the puzzle was already done, and he was already with Yamaha already on an arc setup. So that guy, we worked with him, and he gave us different ratios and stuff to try and all that stuff, and it was just a matter of plug and play. But it wasn't something that happened overnight. Like everybody thinks, oh, you just slapped it on and it's good to go. It took about a good, when I say month, us going back to the shop, going back to Colorado, fine tuning it. And there was a point he was going to stick with hydraulic because it was really good. We had it really good, but then he did the cable and he's something about the whoops. He can like kind of, he can feel it, where the hydraulic, you can feel it, but it's like, you got that mechanical.
So there's like a feedback where so you'll have your finger on the clutch.
He can come in and
it'll pull against it.
Yep. And he can, like, instead of like most guys modulate it he just kind of goes like this and just kind of and slips it a little. And you can do that with the hydraulic, but the thing is that the hydraulic doesn't push back on your finger. Yes. And that's what he likes about that. So it's like, all right, if you're going to go win, freaking here you go. So yeah, dude, it's like I said, it's sick.
I want to look at that thing. So after we did the pod, I actually had the arc lever for my 450. It's actually on my 250.
Yep.
But I have like the same thing, and I like took a photo of it, and I was like, should I put this puppy on? Because I had the hydraulic.
There it is.
Oh yeah, pause that.
Now they coated it, so it's got a coating on it, because that's just raw.
Yeah.
I actually like it raw. I think it looks trick, but it gets hammered, and then it's just a cool part. Like that's, to me, like that's factory. When you think of like factory like that, that's freaking a factory part.
Dude, how many do you think they'd sell if they released it?
Dude,
thousands.
Not that it makes your bike go any better, but I think all your diehard vets, they'll be like,
just
because and you could, I'm sure somebody's eventually gonna go out and make it, but I just wish they would make it and then sell it in the Power Parts catalog, because I think your diehard people, like, even if it don't work better, like they're gonna spend the money because I want to be like Eli.
That's exactly what I got. I had the Yamaha. You can put the cable, the hydraulic on the kit.
Yep.
So because I was on the 25, so I had the kit for the hydraulic and then the arc lever, and I like taking a photo of both of them. And he's like, "Yeah, put that sucker on, put that sucker on the left on."
And honestly, like that's only half the puzzle. Like that was the hard part, but even the arc part, there was a lot that went into like that guy. I felt bad for him because okay, Eli likes this lever. Okay, I'll make 10 of them. Hey, Eli changed today. He wanted this. Okay, so the dude that guy took care of us. Like that company is freaking top notch. And he makes he's like I want to just make sure the lever looks good every time. I'll give you whatever you want. Just that's my logo right there, and that's all I want is to look good when the bike's on the stand. And yeah, like I said, for a sponsor these days, like that dude's top notch. That company.
It's cool. I mean, even for him, right? Like to have a guy that you can just go to. He's a local. I'm pretty sure they're local.
Yeah, they're. If you go, oh, shoot, I had to go up there pick up some parts. It's past Ontario, past the airport. Rancho Cucamonga.
Yeah,
yep, he's up there.
So it's like that's just a local dude, and so he has been making these levers forever.
Yeah,
and he just makes this badass product that the most badass dude in the sport swears by.
Well, it's funny too because I think if you overhearing some of this stuff, I think Eli was one of the main ARC guys back in the day. So when he found out, like before we started going down the rabbit hole of cable clutch, we kind of asked him, hey, can we get a clutch? And then he was like, oh, what are you guys doing? So that's how we started. We got the perch from him. And then he basically said, hey, I'll do whatever. We need to sponsor you guys. And that's kind of how they came to that, because a lot of the times we made our own, we had outsourced our own levers and stuff, but they were just raw aluminum. Cause like, if you dynastize stuff, the rock damage, like if you saw some of like Eli's good because he's out front, but like if you're in the back, dude, the thing gets pitted and it's just nasty.
Yeah.
So our main thing is like, dude, we don't want black levers because you can't change them and it's just going to cost a lot. And this guy's like, no, don't worry about that. Like I'll take care of you. And like I said, and honestly, I think I've only used 2 levers this year, and I changed it just for cosmetic, just to make it look pretty for the fans. So, but yeah, that dark dude, he's a bad dude.
How cool is that there's just that guy's out there and he can be this important to a guy. Like you just get the top guy loves this special part and then everyone's like, cool, man. Like just no other, for people listening, it's like no other rider could demand this.
No.
There's no one else that could make this happen the way that Eli has made this happen.
Like I think say you just hypothetically, if Kenny came over, hey, I want a hydraulic clutch, I don't think he would have got, like it's Eli Tomac. And I think, like you said, the only guy like that can demand that. I think anybody else would be like, yeah, no, sorry, but this is what you got.
It's
funny because like leading up to the press launch, people were like, the keyboard, they got Vital on the bottom. The keyboard warriors, they ain't gonna happen. And
I was one of them.
Which is cool. Like I get it, but it was just funny. And then it happened, and it was just like, dude, the internet blew up that day. It was sick.
Yeah, I mean, I was literally one of them. Like there would be a clip of me being like, "There's no way," just from knowing how factory KTM is.
Yeah, no, it's like I said that the company's gotten looser over the years. If Eli would have came maybe 4 or 5 years ago, probably not. But we've learned to adapt, and like I said, we just want the guys to be happy. And if that's what it takes to make this guy win a championship, then all right, let's do it. So,
he's damn close.
Yeah, it's like I said, if it happens, it happens. If it don't, I'm very proud of what we've done up to this point. And like I said, we give him all the tools, and I think he can do it. I really believe he can. We just need to get some good results this weekend. But either way, even last year we came up 2 points short with Chase. Dude, it's so depressing when you don't win, but like you sit back, okay, 7 wins, like not many people can do that. And
for sure. Not many people have won 7.
It's pretty cool. So like even in Eli, we won 4 so far. Like it's nice. But if he can freaking finish this, I don't know. I might be like, fuck this, I'm out. Got my championship, and I don't know what the hell I would do, but I'd do it. It would be cool. Like I won a couple lights championships and been close in the 450, but like to win a Supercross, like, dude, I'd be pumped.
Especially from just starting as your bro's mechanic, practice mechanic.
Yeah, when we were little, like we just read cycle news, like you didn't really know much about the sport, and then you kind of pinch yourself, like I'm at the top right now, but I never thought you would make it, and you take it for granted for some days, but it's pretty special.
So going back to the racing, when you were racing, how far off Dunge were you?
Me and Ryan were close, and it was actually, so we rode at my grandpa's house, and I'd be on my 125 and he'd be on his 80, and he'd kind of keep up a little bit, but I was always faster. And then when he got to the big bikes is when something like switched, and he was good, but then he got confidence and he knew he wanted to do that. And that's when I was like, fucking, and he started training and I was just started going like this. So, but honestly, if you go to look back, my little brother, Blaker, we thought he was going to be he's the whole reason why we all had Suzuki rides and stuff was because of Blake.
That's right.
Yeah. He was he was good. Like it just came natural, but then he's kind of like me, the work side. We just kind of ran on talent a little bit. Yeah. And then Ryan started working out and stuff. And then.
So was Ryan would you say, the least talented in the family?
Yeah. I'd say me and him were close, but yeah, he had to make up for on the work side of things. Like it just didn't come naturally to him like it did me and Blaker. But then when it came to like make that next jump where you're like, you get on big bikes and you either make it or break it, that's when yeah.
Isn't it wild that the one with the least amount of talent was the one that is one of the best riders of all time?
And I think it was he got to watch me riding, so he picked up on stuff. But then our little brother was even better because he watched both of us. So it was just, and the little one just, I feel like the sibling of the family just boom boom picks it up easier and just naturally just gifted. But yeah, dude, and you look back like how he got to be a pro, like he did it with hard work, but like for Raj to take a chance on him like that, you got a little bit of luck too. You know, like most guys, if a guy came up to me right now in the semi, like, hey, let me ride your bike, and you didn't know who he was, like, hey, you get that, like, come on, get out of here. So like the fact Raj took a chance on him is pretty.
Do you remember how that all came about?
Yeah, so Big E with Yoshimura.
Yeah.
He was our gear guy at the time, Answer. And that's how we became friends with him, and he kind of helped guide Ryan. So Ryan was actually supposed to be WBR Suzuki. They were gunning for him. He even did a test ride.
That would have been a disaster.
Yeah, well, we didn't know. Like, we had the Suzukis, but our bikes weren't modded, so we didn't have the problems like they had. And I remember him saying the day he went test rode the Suzuki at WBR, Sipes broke his wrist because the engine blew up. And he had a good test, everything was good, and he was like, and then Big E's like, don't sign anything. Let me talk to Raj, because I think it was either Hepler or Dave. It was maybe Davey was hurt, so he got him a test on Davey's bike because it was just sitting there. And then Raj, they kept going to the races. Raj, I want to ride for you. And then finally, like, shut up. Okay, let you ride. He went out road, and I think he crashed right off the get-go. Bike was just full of mud.
Yeah.
And then he went back out, and then they were like, dude, what are we doing? And then he went back out, and I think he was keeping close to Ricky at Glen Helen. And then that's basically how he got it. And then, yeah. And then he won he did those first 3 motocross races. And the first one, Millville, was good. It was mutter, but he actually stopped and picked Josh Grant's bike up because they were buddies at the time. And he was stuck under his bike because it was a full mutter that year. And he picked Josh Grant. He would have done better. I think he got 5th or 6th, but he helped JG pick his bike up because it was landing on him. He's just like,
that's insane.
And then he still finished, but it was good. And then the next 2 were tough. And then he went out and won his first East Coast Supercross. And then the pressure came, and it was kind of like a roller coaster. But
I wonder with Dunge how it's not like, I'm not in no disrespect.
No,
but like just I've known him for so long now that I feel like I watched him through so many phases of his career and like kind of and knew him enough to be like, I would talk to him and whatever in those times, right? And I was like filming him and I was around. So it's like I know the roller coaster that he went through.
Yeah.
I wonder if he did have to go to a WBR privateer Suzuki team and they were having tons of black troubles and he didn't have Roger. Like,
I don't think it would have panned out.
Yeah, would it have panned out the way that it did?
I think he would have just been another guy through the ringer, and I just don't know. I mean, you don't know how the equipment was either, but
that's what I'm saying.
I think he would have just been chewed up and spit out real quick, like kind of a privateer. So, yeah, like I said, a lot of stuff lined up. Like I know he, a lot of was his work.
Well, I was gonna say he worked for it,
but he had a little luck on his side. Like,
well, and just to have I guess it's more the self-doubt that he went through.
Yeah.
Like I just know he went through so much personal self-doubt. And it's like he went through that with Roger DaCosta, with Factory Suzuki, with like this crazy, again, all hard work got him there, all of his own talent. Like he got himself there.
Yeah.
But it's like, man, if he went and just had a Suzuki blow up on an up ramp of a triple and like, we might have just missed out on one of the best riders of all time, just purely by like a left-right moment in time.
Yeah, like I said, I think you look back at his career, like me outside looking in and kind of, be involved. There was 2 times in his career that I think were tough. Was the J-Law,
Yeah.
That was mentally, you know, he was young and didn't know how to handle the pressure, and that cracked him. And then after 2010, when he won that year, that next year was tough because now the pressure, you're the champ, you know, like I think it all came at him. So those were the two defining, I feel like, in his career. And then the first couple of years in KTM, they weren't hard, but it was tough. But then when he really like kind of set off was 15. That's when everything kind of really really clicked for him and just knocked off wins. And I mean, dude, he basically set the path to like just be a podium guy and you can win a championship. Like that's really kind of, he paved the way a little bit for that, or showed you don't have to win every single race to win a championship. So
yeah, isn't it funny that you have guys that come along and they influence how the sport goes?
Yep.
So you had Ricky.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. I mean, I just don't think anyone could really top Jeremy. Like,
yeah,
I don't think anyone's ever followed that model. Like maybe Jet, but not even.
Yeah.
Not even. You know. So you had Ricky, and it was just hard work. Beat the piss out of the track and the motorcycle and your competition. And then you had a lot of people tried to emulate that. And then that gave you Villapotos and like that gave you so many, like the Alessis and just gnarly dudes.
Yep.
And then you had James that was just this freak speed and talent. And then you start to see like, I'm thinking like Stroops, Izzy's, Canards, where it was just like speed, raw speed.
Yep.
And they influenced that generation. And then Dunge comes along. And then Dunge completely like revolutionizes the sport in his own way, to where it's like now it ain't about winning every race and winning by huge margins. It's like Moneyball. Like you can win the championship playing Moneyball. You know, and Dunge was that guy. And then now you see, you know, like Eli has taken so much from Dunge. Cooper Webb has taken so much
look
from
at
Dunge.
Coop last year.
Yeah.
Like we won 7 races and the guy beat us by 2 points. You know, like you just got to be there and just limit your mistakes and just freaking take race by race. And like I said, we're getting heat right now online. People are blowing my Instagram. What the hell are you guys doing?
But that's the plan. Like you guys are still sticking to the plan.
Yeah. Like you got to sit back. I told Frankie, we're still got the red, you know, we're tied with the red plate, but we're still there. Like there's races to go. We just got to keep going. Like don't freak out. And
you know. And that's the playbook.
Yeah.
That Dunge wrote.
Yep.
And he just proved it over and over and over. And now you can't argue. No. And then I look at Jet. Bro, Jet's still taken from Dunge's playbook.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like he's got the speed to do 1 minute plus victories.
He's like a once in a generation type what do you call it? Skill. Like just very naturally gifted, and it's
You just finished watching a clip from the full 3-hour podcast. You're on our Clips channel. The full podcast live on the Gypsy Tales podcast channel. It's linked right here. Go over to that channel, give us a like, give us a subscribe, and make sure you never miss a full episode of the Gypsy Tales podcast. If you don't want to watch it on YouTube, you want to watch it on the go, you can also head to our iTunes or Spotify to get the full 3-hour podcast in audio format.
I met a gypsy.